Hey everybody, Real Estate Ninja here. I hope you're doing well. Got a story out of Market Watch. It's an important one. It's a great piece of information, a piece of the puzzle. If you're getting ready for a real estate crash, this confirms a lot. It's entitled Housing Starts Post Sharpest Drop Since April of 2020. Now, April of 2020, we all remember, was a gnarly year. There was nothing happening. Everything was shut down. Still blows me away to this day when I went out to Highway 101 in California and looked, and there was no one on the road. Zero. Fear was gripping a lot of people. Craziness was gripping a lot of people. Something that just never happened in our history, right? And you look at these indicators when we see that economic activity hasn't been this bad since this date, or we haven't seen, inflation this bad since this date. We're going back in history. You go back in history and you look at how many opportunities did we miss? That's what I think about. I look at real estate all the time. It's part of my job now. I've created my own side hustle, teaching people how to buy real estate properly, saving money, how to, start businesses, saving time, money, headaches, stress, and how to just go out and crush it. That's become my business lately, my side hustle, in the evolution of everything I've done. And I look at these headlines and it just blows me away because people are just head down and they see, what they see. It's crazy right now. I don't know if the mic is picking that up, but the most insane, not thunder, but explosions are happening in the background. Are you guys picking that up? It's actually very alarming. It's crazy. See if it manifests into something. But when we're talking about real estate, there's so many people that are stressed out and frustrated. Trust me, I'm there too. I want it to happen sooner than later. I remember, and I have a hard time remembering how stressed out I was and wanting it to happen sooner than later. The last time, back in 2005, when I sold my houses, to sit there and wait till 2009 and 10 to see the housing prices bottom, that was hard. And it's hard now, quite frankly. But stories like this, we need to take into consideration and go, hey, you know what? This is actually happening. Right now, as I look, Toll Brothers now just bumped their national sales campaign from $30,000 free upgrades to now it's up to $50,000. They are doing everything they can to keep their employees working and houses selling. They're saying if you use their approved lenders, you'll get $20,000 off on top of that. Think about what's going on here. Put the pieces together. Let's get into this story. I cannot get over this sound in the background. I wish I could share it with you. Real quick, there's like 7 days left of the side hustle course that it's going to go up. Right now it's discounted down to $199. After that, it's going up. I'm looking forward to taking that to the next level. And I do have a new lesson coming out in the next couple of days. All right, here we go. The numbers. Construction of new U.S. homes fell 14.8% in January as home builders scaled back new projects. The pace of construction slowed as builders curtailed their activity amid wintry weather in the U.S. and in January. Housing starts fell to a 1.33 million annual pace from 1.56 million in December, the government said Friday. That's how many houses would be built over an entire year if construction took place at the same rate every month as it did in January. Housing starts fell to the lowest level since August of 2023. The drop in January was the sharpest since 2020 or April of 2020 during the pandemic, when starts fell by nearly 27%. Not including that pandemic drop, housing starts fell by the most since 2015. I want to remind you about 2015. It's a very integral part because we've talked about Shemitah cycles before, and 2015 was one of them. It was part of it. And in 2015, that is when the Federal Reserve decided to start raising interest rates. And between 2015 and 2018 is when they did those raises. I believe they started raising in December of 2015, if my memory serves me right. And the economy couldn't take it. And things weren't looking that good in the economy in 2015. There were a little bit a housing lull. When you look back at what happened in April of 2020, and you consider that was manufactured, right? That was forced. Governments around the world forced everyone to stay at home. They forced this shutdown, and that was bad. So it was like 27%. That's obvious. There's no business. Everything was shut down. Now we look at a 14.8 or 15% drop in housing starts, and you look, and that's a very significant number. And yes, are they going to pick up in the springtime? Yes, because of seasonality issues. But when you compare this January's drop in housing starts as opposed to past January's, it's quite staggering. And that should give you hope for what's coming in the future. Now, the fact is, everyone needs to live somewhere, right? So there's never a bad time to buy. There's more opportune times to buy. But as long as you're purchasing a property right, it's at the level of rent or under the level of rent, you know, even if you consider your write-offs, you're doing good as long as you know you're going to have a job for a long time. But the fact of the matter is people are getting laid off. This is why you need to start a side hustle now. You need to take advantage of what is coming, and you start small with cash, you practice, you build your craft, and then as everything's collapsing down, you're making the most profits possible. That's why timing is right in that cycle. Should you be going out and buying a ton of rentals right now? Unless you're in the commercial space and you're able to really get some smoking deals and you're pretty confident that your tenants are not going to lose their jobs and then they're going to turn around and be a burden on you on your balance sheet, well, then maybe if you're pretty sure that everything's going to work your way. But I've found that I have to de-risk everything. I have to take most of the risk out. Let me give you a little example of what I'm doing right now. Because who cares about all these statistics, right? After a while, they just all run to the back of your mind. You know, I need a place to live, and I'm at a point where I'm looking to buy the cheapest place possible. Why? Because if I'm renting, I'm just throwing away money. But I'm looking to buy the cheapest place possible. And there are places that are sitting on the market for 60, 90, 120 days right now. And I'm taking advantage of that. I'm going to peel 10% off immediately in offers and then figure out a way of bringing them down a little bit more during escrow. That's just good business. You want to get the best price possible, right? But right now there are a bunch of owners full of hopium trying to sell something that 3 months ago or 6 months ago would have sold for price, you know, X, but now it's X minus 10% or 15%. There are still places of panic in this country where the cheapest price properties are getting scooped up super fast because there are so few of them available. See, these are the days that we need to be getting like focused. And yes, it's frustrating that it doesn't happen all at once. But quite frankly, every day that something doesn't happen in your favor, that's another day that you have to prepare. And if all of this would have came, let's say, crashing down a couple of years ago, how prepared would you have been? I'm more prepared now. And I know from just talking to my students and hearing what they're going through and what they're taking from all these courses, they're happy that it hasn't happened yet. Because now they see it. With the right education, they see the goal, they see the finish line, but they go, I want to push it back because I want to get in a little bit more shape, financial shape we're talking about, and mentally. So housing starts just collapsed. Yeah, that's the headline. And yeah, they did. Are they going to go up a little bit? Yes. It's just like saying, you know, I've told you that you're going to see mortgages in the 10% range in the next handful of years. And people can't get away from the now, but look at now. And I go, look at the long-term trend, especially since we're losing control of the dollar. So think about the bigger picture. This is getting exciting. You want to have that dry powder. You want to have your credit and everything ready. You want to have some cash on the side. You want to be invested in, I mean, I'm invested in gold. Look at the other day, gold's went down like 40 bucks, 50 bucks. Do I care? No. What's it going to buy? What else is going down in value compared to it? Anyway, I just thought I'd talk to you about that, talk to you about the headlines. And again, there's, I think, 7 days or 8 days left of the side hustle course for 199 bucks. If you've ever wanted to own your own business or you have a side hustle right now, I guarantee you for that price, you're gonna come away with some amazing tips and tricks, and you're going to save or make a lot more money than you are right now. All right, with that being said, I'll put the link down below. Thank you so much. I'm going to move over to the Economic Ninja channel and talk about something else. The Real Estate Ninja is out. Have a great day, everyone.